All right. All right. Hey, we are live again, and this time we're not using StreamYards the live stream today. Maybe next time we'll just open up. We'll do live stream and open up for a debate here. So I'll just adjust the camera here, somewhat here. So, all right. Okay, everybody knows it's no secret. A lot of states is doing soft reopenings as of yesterday, May 1st, and this is May 2nd. So this is technically our second day on the soft openings. What I mean by soft openings is a lot of businesses are given the green light by most states, not all states. A lot of states is still on lockdown, but they're also doing their own versions of soft openings in a different way. Let me see about this camera. I got a glare here, but I think it's mostly going to be, yeah. I think it's going to be the light. Let me turn on the light so I can get rid of that glare and that. So yeah, let's see if that get rid of the glare, because I got a ring. Looks like a rainbow ring along the side here. Okay, businesses doing the soft openings. Is it a good thing? It all depends what your political persuasions is. If you're a right winger, it's probably want to be a good thing. If you're a left winger, you're probably crying your hearts out and screaming to the moon. But eventually, the reality is we've been on this lock. Most of the states has been on some form of lockdown, or like in my home state of Iowa, it was mostly on a volunteer basis that we did we choose to do the right thing by stay home whenever possible, go out, get the necessities and all that stuff. Even we're still with this coronavirus that's still going on. There is, like I said, more testings are taking place, and you're going to see those numbers will rise as more testings takes place. But as for soft openings for businesses and that, there is a lot of strict restrictions when it comes to sanitizing, hand sanitizers, and all that stuff, and face masks. For most employees, have to wear a face mask and all that. As for customers, whatever the regulations were set forth by the business operator, if it comes to require a face mask or not, that is their option to do that rule. But what it is that a business is allowed to have 50% capacity, what they normally do for a normal business day. Now, what is 50% capacity? In my opinion, is basically what your local fire marshal sets for safe occupancy of a particular business. So let's make it simple. Let's say a fire marshal goes into a business, sees the situation. I'm going to rate this for you cannot have no more than 100 patrons in this business at any one time. Okay, to make math simple. Basically, it's simple math. So if a business is rated at 100 customers at one time, or occupants at any one time, so they figured cut it in half by 50%. So it'd be 50 people. And then they still got to do the social distancing in some form of way. And business owners have to be very creative how to do that. A lot of grocery stores has placed down what they call one-ways, like a one-way street. So you got to go one way in and out of the store. So if you got something if you're going one way in the aisle, if you got something, you got to go all the way around and come back the other way, and just hopefully you get the one way. Just like in real life, nobody follows it anyway. So not in the stores and that. But as for soft openings, basically a lot of businesses, bars that has here in the state of Iowa, bars that has grills, offers a bar and grill. They're allowed to be open. If you're just a regular watering hole, you're not allowed to be open. If they just want people to make sure the food is served, if you're going to be in there having a beer. So if you're planning to go to your local watering hole and just to drink a beer, forget about it. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But if you're going to go to your watering hole and have a burger and fries and any pub food, go at it. Have fun, basically. But they're telling you, basically eat and run. Basically go in, order your drink, order your food. Once you're all said and done, you got to get out. No socialized drinking until further notice, and we'll find more about that on May 15th in most states and other states. Other states that's still on lockdown, uh, it's they extended it to June 1st. I heard rumors they want to extend it till July 1st. Basically, why till that late? I don't know. They're just a plan to destroy the economy one way or another. But what they're doing is they're hurting their reelection hopes, basically, because people want to get back to normal. And as humans over the years is very resilient, basically, because we survived a lot of plagues, a lot of viruses over the oh man, over the 2,000 years plus. But I say, as long as man was on this planet, we've been very well resilient on a lot of stuff. Basically, we're just known to be we're probably um, some of the top survivors. Way that we know how to survive out there. Basically, even we live in a civil society. Unfortunately, like I said, some animalist instincts will kick in just for survival. It's all about survival out there, basically. What about the older folks that's 65 and older? They suggest that they stay home, basically, some of that. Uh, yeah, just stay home if you're 65 or older, whenever possible. If you need to go out, get what you need, get out your essentials. What about people with weak immune systems? They suggest they stay home with 100%. And right now, a lot of people, what about the vulnerable? What about the vulnerable? What about the vulnerable? Well, it's a very simple tip. If you're feeling that vulnerable yourself, or you've got a weak immune system, or just too much of age, uh, just very simple. Stay home. Only go out for the essentials. Uh, what about the entertainment? The entertainment portions, basically. That's not until we won't know until like mid-May to early June. I heard a lot of them going to open around June 1st, some even later. And there's a couple rumors that some will not even be open at all for the rest of the year because of this. So, excuse me here, dry throat. Got to wet it down once in a while. But now people are so paranoid that even uh, if you accidentally make an accidental cough like I did, people think it's coronavirus. Don't live that paranoid life. Basically, if you're going to live in a paranoid life, then you're going to succumb to such diseases. Basically, now I heard a lot of people was paranoid to have cancer. Uh, Guess what? They end up having cancer. They're paranoid about getting sick. They got sick. So basically, if you live a paranoid life, you're gonna contract it. So, but probably best that don't get paranoid out there, uh, because it's gonna be very not really rewarding. But live life for the fullest. Be happy, and that. A lot of businesses are not open during this time because of they choose not to, which they have every right. And our governor pointed that out yesterday on May 1st that she was aware that a lot of businesses were not going to be opening until a later date, and they have that option, and employees are still good with their unemployment checks and that. So and I'm gonna probably come back talk about the unemployment checks that we received on a later, probably do sometime tomorrow, if not Monday. We'll talk about the unemployment checks, how it was great, and how they can be uh, okay and that. So we'll talk about that on a later video. I don't want to talk about it on this video right now. We'll just talk about businesses opening. Basically, don't expect your favorite buffets to open up soon. Your watering holes open up soon. Your favorite movie theaters, they ain't gonna open up anytime soon. Right now, as of right now, so they're probably looking at May 15th at the earliest for some of those will get reopened. Possibly amusement parks, carnivals. I heard today, as of just prior to going live here, state of Indiana is considering reopening the fairs and festivals starting the 4th of July, around the 4th of July. So basically, July 4th will be where most fairs and festivals can get the green light to start up. So there's a chance you can still go to your favorite Fourth of July carnival if you live in the state of Indiana, basically. But the rest of the country, we don't know yet because a lot of events are still getting canceled throughout the summer and that. So, like I said, it feels like it should be winter year round, mostly. But as far as we know, we don't know and that. So, if you got businesses that's open up in your area, in your state, go out support those businesses if all possible. Go out, do your quick shopping with a small mom and pop store or stores that dead closed is now slowly reopening and all that. Go out, support them in a way. But if your favorite place is still closed, please understand they don't have to open because your state governors or mayors gives the green light does not mean they have to follow that green light. They just felt maybe they felt wasn't safe enough yet because they said the numbers they were getting why they were getting more tested positive, higher more positive tests, but then the death rates are slowly starting to drop somewhat, but the numbers are still pretty high up there. So it's the businesses just because the number one reason why those businesses are still closed, their favorite places are still closed as of right now, is they put their employees first and they put their customers first. So basically, it's them two first instead of profits. A lot of small businesses they've been wanted to been open just to say, hey, we don't draw that many people. We don't get that many customers. Why are we forced to close and that? Unfortunately, the bad side about this is some businesses will never open again because they officially announced their closings altogether. Now, because a business is still closed, does not mean they're closed permanently. But there are some businesses out there that did close permanently. So be aware of your because somebody just posted that their favorite watering hole here in town permanent closed, and they thought they all should have closed permanently, but it's just that one. Basically, one or two has faced permanent closing, and there were some factories because of lack of sales prior to the pandemic and during the pandemic. Some companies decided to close up altogether because they're not getting any customers or their product just not just the main product that they built is just not meeting demands, and of course they don't make parts for those products anyway. They're not in the parts business either. But yeah, it's just one of those odd things. Poor business management, they call it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to stay on long. Like I said, a lot of people is upset why some businesses are opening up. It's just a way to get the economy going, get the tax dollars start sending in, basically all that. Get that tax dollars rolling, all that. So we'll just uh, talk about what kind of just to get the tax dollars rolling, get the people back employed, get them off a very, I would say, my opinion, very generous unemployment package. I'll talk about that on the live show, and I'll put it up on live stream so we can have a community chat on that on the next live show. Which stay tuned, I will come up probably either later today, tomorrow, or Monday. We'll do that. Talk about the benefits of we'll do the unemployment benefits debate, basically how it turned out great, but we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and wrap this up real quick. Soft openings on states that allow the soft openings. Opening sites are opening up. Some states are still on lockdown is opening up the state parks to allow people to go out and get some fresh air and all that stuff. Be protective out there still. Wear a mask if all possible. Just make sure you got plenty of hand sanitizers of any kind. As long as it has a minimum alcohol content that kills the germs. Remember, this is not a beverage. It's not a beverage. It's a hand sanitizer because there's other chemicals in here that helps clean your hands. Basically, use this as much as possible. Shower hygiene and all that. Make sure those well practiced. and all that wonderful stuff. Just when you patronize your business, just be aware they're at 50% capacity. So if you're not allowed to enter a business because the business is already at 50% full, they can't go no fuller. Now the next phase is they're talking about 75%, then eventually they'll go 100%. If they go 100%, that means life was just starting to get back to normal in some form. But remember this: simple things. If you're gonna cough, cover your mouth. If you're gonna sneeze, turn away, cover your sneeze, and turn away. Don't be coughing in somebody's face because they don't like it. And you can, and all of a sudden we're back all over transmitting viruses again. So just basic common sense stuff. Cover your cough, cover your sneeze, and that's basically it. Very simple, and that. And I've probably seen about 22 thumbs down on this video anyway, but those people don't care about their lives anyway. For the ones that gives the thumbs down on this videos anyway, they don't care about their life anyway because they live a sad life anyway, because they like live miserable. And when they like to live a miserable life, they like to bring everybody else down with them. So we don't try not to go down with them. Remember, we don't have to go down with the ship. And that we have our own boat, basically. We're all in this together, but it does not mean we're in the same boat together. All right. I saw that on a YouTube video last night. I forgot what it was. It was one of those YouTube videos I came across. Yeah, we may be all we're still all we're all in together, but we're not in the same boat, basically. So right now businesses are opening up. We got the green light to open up, but with restrictions. What about people are forced to go back to work? Well, that's between the employer and the employee, basically. If the employer agrees that the employee is still unsafe, there is some safety nets that the employee will still collect unemployment. Basically, they just got to have to come up with a little bit more proof, basically. We'll talk about that on a next live show, either later today or tomorrow or Monday. All right. Right now, if you want to watch this video as a regular video, leave it down in the comments down below what you think about the soft openings. Did your state does any soft openings? Are you for it or against it? Oh, by the way, another bad thing that's happening with the soft openings, what happened to gas prices all of a sudden? They're going back up because as people going back to work, there'll be more demand for fuel. That means fuel prices are going to be going back up somewhat. Basically, because there'll be more demand for that product now because people are now going back to work, basically. As for anything, but watch the gas prices skyrocket once the tourist industry resumes, and watch the fairs and the festivals resume in some form of capacity, basically. So watch the gas prices skyrocket then. All right. Okay, like I said, soft businesses right now, the soft openings with a lot of restrictions in place. Employers are the employers are going to call back who they need the most. Rest will stay unemployed until they get 100% open, then they'll bring back the rest of the employees. But right now, for soft openings, they'll probably still run a skeleton crew. Basically, don't go be running to your favorite watering hole if they do not have a grill. Don't be running to your buffet restaurants. Right now, they're still shut down, and some states are planning a flat out banning the buffet restaurants, basically, which I don't think that's right. They'll be battled in courts. That's why you got the court system to battle it out, basically, and that. So, but a lot of people is still closed because they're waiting for the 15th to see what the numbers. They were just watching the numbers, see what they do. They want as a business owner. If I was a business owner myself, and if my employees are taken care of with the unemployment situation, and I'm still pretty well taken care of, because when you're a business owner, you're supposed to take care of yourself first. Everybody else comes secondary. But basically, I know I'm going to get hate on that one. But if you're a business owner, take care of yourself first. If you're a business owner, this way you can come back on a later date if you have to be closed for a certain amount of time. And some of these businesses have been closed for almost a month. Some businesses over a month and a half already. And Right now, some are reopening, some are not. They're just waiting for either they're not going to reopen at all again because they closed permanently, or they're just waiting for a better safety time to reopen. And the businesses that we are employed, that I'm employed with, uh, they're waiting for a safety timeline. When my employer calls me back to come back to work, because they want me to come back to work because we've done beautiful work for them on that. So when my employer does give me the phone call saying, "Hey, come back to work," we're gonna go back to work and that. But next live stream video, we'll talk about the un the very generous unemployment packages and how we spent the money in that and how it's going to help us financially in a way in case something else bad happens, basically right now. All right, leave it down in the comments. Soft openings, good or bad. You like the idea, don't like the idea. Remember this: go out, do your shopping, and go back home, hide underneath covers and that. All right. Remember, no entertainment's out there as of right now. That we won't know until June 1st for those areas and other areas. And when it comes to your favorite watering holes, our favorite restaurants that's opening later, and other businesses, small businesses that's not opening till a later date. Uh, Watch their personal Facebook pages when they're going to reopen. And if they do not reopen, just kind of walk past the store and see if they vacated. If they vacated, just go back to the store for a look in the window. It looks like everything's cleaned out. That means they're not reopening anytime soon. In fact, they closed for good. That's usually a good sign. I walked past one bar already that had here in town where basically I never tried it. I wanted to try it, and I can't try it because they cleaned everything out. Closed for good, unfortunately. But my favorite watering hole that everybody talks about, they're open. They opened yesterday to a good sized crowd on the phone facility. They had to hold some people back, basically, and told people they can't come in just to drink. You have to come in, buy food. Either you have the option to eat it there or take it with them. All right. All right. I gotta do something else for our main channel. Gotta do some filming, some vlogging. We gotta do on the main channel. So please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget the subscribe button, notification bell, and we'll do a next live show either later today or tomorrow or Monday. Talk about the ins and outs of the good and bad about the unemployment packages that we're going to talk about. All right. See you next time.